Hello, friends. So today we're working on a 2008 Dodge Avenger. Supposed to be orange. I think it's more copper, but that's just my thought. Anyway, I'm going to detail this. We're going to take a look at it. Seats and carpets are a wreck. A lot of it is a wreck. And yes, there were kids. I've already been in it trying to pull out trash. I've found Hot Wheel cars, all kinds of stuff. But there's something that I find in practically every car. I don't talk about it much because, it's just not something that you do. I mean, it's not a big deal. But what are the biggest things that I find in these cars? Well, the first thing is you find a lot of change. Okay? So, I thought what we would do for this video is pay attention to how much of a tip we get. Because the change that I find in these cars, that's my tip. Just saying. It could be 2 cents, it could be no cents, or it could be 60 cents, and sometimes even more. Something else that I find in these cars on a regular basis, and it's the weirdest thing, but it still happens. I mean, every single time. Pins. This year, I don't think I've had a car where I didn't find a pin. But that doesn't mean that you will have a car that you don't find a pin. So, today, we're going to use our little tiny Lowe's bucket. And I told you I've already been in there. So right now we have 13 cents. This is going to be our tip. We're going to keep track of our tip today. I thought I'd do something a little different. You guys have seen me detailing cars and detailing cars and detailing cars going on 4.5 years now. And I thought, you know what? I'm not interested in taping the detail of it right now. It's hot. I'm tired. This is Friday, so I just come off of my 2 overnight shifts. So today we're going to look for pins and our tip. Okay? Well, so far, 2 more pennies. $0.20. Quarter. Dime. So, we're going to get started vacuuming. I'm going to plug the phone in. But so far, here's what we got for a tip. We'll count it all at the end. Who knows? I may even suck some up from the vacuum. But we got a pretty decent amount of trash out of there too. Here's a look at the trunk. You know, just a normal trunk. Of course, we're not going to do much with it. We're just going to vacuum it. And, you know, there's a spot back there we may need to rub on a little bit, but we're not going to get crazy. Alrighty, so this Dodge Avenger is done. Let's take a quick peek. Like I said, you've seen me do a whole bunch of details in this video. I wanted it to be different. It's looking pretty decent. The seats and the carpets did not do very well, but unfortunately for us, it is a cheap car. But as you see, it could be better. But I washed these seats, cleaned these seats twice, and we didn't have much change. So I let my dad look at it and let him decide what to do. He said they look a darn sure sight better than they did. Waiting on the floor mats to dry. They didn't clean up. You want to get off of my... Thank you. My goodness. They didn't clean up as much as I had hoped, but they do look much, much better. And I had some soap trapped in a couple of them, so I took them over to the bathroom and sprayed them all out to make sure we had no soap left. So they're pretty much dry now. We're just letting them dry a little bit longer. Then I'll put them in and park this off to the side because we discovered, after changing the cam sensor and the fuse box, that it has a solenoid problem. The overdrive solenoid and that car has to be changed. So we're waiting on that part, so I'm just going to put it off to the side because my next detail is already here. But before I do a detail, I got to clean that floor. So I'm going to continue that video. I already did one for you, but I'm going to do this other one because that's the side that's pretty bad. So, back to the Dodge Avenger. When I was going through it, look what I found. I found a pin. It was in between the driver's seat and the console, and that's usually where I find them. I find them in between the seats and the console somewhere. And so I did find a pin, so we'll just put that in the dish, no big deal. But let's see how much we got in tips while I throw it around. It was not a horrible haul. I mean, hey, So we got 75 cents, 85.95. There's a dollar. 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 4, 5, 55, 60, 65, 70, 74. $1.74. Not bad. Not bad. On $1.74 is not bad. What do I do with the tips? The quarters go in these little yellow thingies because those I use to wash the towels. I usually wash them at home, but I'm having washer issues, so I'm just taking them over to the laundromat. I'm not there longer than an hour, and so I put all of the quarters into the yellow ones, and then get off me. This is another container. I'm going to take this to the bank. I found a $2 bill also, so I'm just going to take this to the bank, let them count it, and they can put it in the detailed grandma account. And the rest of it, I put it right there. And when it gets halfway to 3/4 of the way full, I go through it, make sure all the quarters are pulled out, because sometimes I'm too tired to care. And then I put it in my little, it's just a container I found. I think it was one of the guys were throwing it away from the utility company. Anyway, so I put the change in there and I took it to the bank. It's no big deal. Anyway, it's kind of fun to kind of look at the little things like that are really no big deal. But I have to laugh because of all the pins. If you want a pin, let me know. But, the tips, and I call them my tips. They're really not. But, I just, collecting change out of these cars can add up. I'm going to say there's about $10 there, $10, $15 there. And you know what? $10 to $15 can buy me a bottle of Chemical Guys wheel cleaner. It'll buy me some towels at Walmart. So those things add up. Those tips add up. Anyway, thanks for hanging out on my channel, guys. I kind of wanted to do something different because, like I said, you always watch me detail. You've seen one, you've seen them all, right? So anyway, wanted to kind of go over some of that with you and just have a little bit of fun with it, especially those pins, because I have no idea why, but everybody loses a pin in their car. Have you lost a pin in your car? Comment below. I think I've got probably 3 or 4 missing, and then 3 or 4 on the little console in the pickup. Anyway, thanks for hanging out on my channel, guys. I sure do appreciate it, and until the next video, we'll see you later.